Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Chatty Chicks teaching eclectic creations. I'm Maury Curtis Dunbar of Painted Studios, and I'm here giving Renee a little hand while she's not feeling her best, and we're doing some fun holiday projects. So I hope everybody is in a fun. Oh my gosh, I turned off all my notifications and they're still coming through. So I hope everybody's up for a little bit of fun stuff that we're gonna do. The other day, I went over to the Dollar Tree. Sorry, I thought somebody was coming through my door. And picked up a couple of these. Hi Elaine, nice to see you here. Now these are made out of, they're basically like really, really super thick cardboard. It's particle board, you know, you've seen this before. So dealing with these can be a little tricky because they like to swell and expand. It's the nature of something this papery. So we'll talk about that. Now these are pressed really hard, so they hold up pretty darn well, but you still don't want to get them oversaturated with anything. A couple of weeks ago, I made a cup like this, and I thought I'd kind of carry over this basic idea onto my piece. Now I'm going to flip this down. We're going to get into painting. Over here I have one ready to go, but I just wanted to talk about painting it first. Like I said, these are made out of pressed chipboard. You can see wood pulp fiber in it. You can see all kinds of crap in it, and that has to be dealt with. Sorry, I got to take that tag off. It'll make me cuckoo. So painting this, normally we tell you on small flat items, you might want to take like a sponge brush or something else, but you really do actually need a brush that's gonna get in. Sorry, I'm reaching for all of my paint brushes that I just washed because I need a clean brush. You're gonna need a brush that gets into these edges because you want to seal this whole thing up front and back. Let's see, where's one of my clean brushes? Make sure it's not soaking wet. This is Faux Effects Set Coat Black. This is one of my personal favorite projects. I use this all the time. Products. I use it all the time. So I go in here. Now I'm painting on parchment paper, so if I get paint on the back of this, and it normally, and I will, because look, I'm sticking a paintbrush through, so there's gonna be stuff that comes out the back, just like right there. This I can set this on and paint on it, and I won't have a problem with this sticking to it. Now, this is gonna take a while to paint. I'm not gonna paint the whole thing, but what I wanna show you is I'm not using tons and tons of paint. I'm coming through, I'm painting quickly and lightly. I don't want to oversaturate this surface because, again, we're talking about something that's particle board. Very thick particle board, but I don't want this so wet that I have issues where it starts to expand around the edges and get kind of funky, and that can happen. And when I do this, and I'll show you on the other piece, I paint the front, the back, and all the little details in here with the set coat, so the whole thing is completely sealed up. I don't want to have any exposed spots if I can avoid it. And as you can see, I'm moving quickly. That part of that helps to spread the paint fast. It keeps me from being too heavy-handed in any spot, but I'm also working out my brush strokes because I want to leave as smooth a surface as possible. I'm going to set that to the side. You can see the basic idea, and I'll get the backs and the center another time, probably after I finish with this live. And I'm going to take that, close it up so I don't make a big mess. So you can see I have a fresh piece of paper under me so that I don't screw up what we're about to do next. Now this one I painted front and back. This happens to be the back because we're in selfie mode, so you can see how it was, you know, stapled to the back. I painted all of it. And then on the front, and I got all the sides and all the little crevices, so it's all sealed up. And I will tell you right now, even painting this, it just sort of popped that wood fiber a little bit. I can feel it here. If I really wanted this smooth, I might very lightly sand this and do a second coat of paint. I don't want to sand it hard. I don't want to make that edge exposed more and have it expand more with moisture. So those are the fun things you kind of got to figure out with these things. And then I put a generous coating. Oh, I thought I missed a spot for a second. I put a generous coating of Artsyville foil adhesive on here. And you can see it's glossy. And you'll see I've got brush strokes in here. And if you look around these edges, it's a little swollen. That's what this stuff that's not the product, it's the particle board. It won't matter by the time we're done. So to imitate this, I did the basic background similar to what you're seeing right now. I painted it black. I released a little gold foil on here and then black foil. Well, I'm not doing it black and gold. I'm going to go for silvers and blues, I think. So I have some blue metallic foil. I'm going to crunch it up, and this is not a fabric. This particular one that I'm working with is not fabric friendly. Check with Renee, see what she's got. She probably has stuff that is or is not fabric friendly. I'm not sure. I haven't checked Renee's stock of foils, so I can't tell you exactly what she has, but this technique will work for all foils. So I've crumpled it up and I'm pouncing it. I am not smoothing it on. I'm not trying for 100% coverage. I'm just trying to make sure I got a nice smattering of blue, and you can see it's coming off. So if I use all that I needed to, I could just put this to the side. Or if I want more, I crumple it up, I move it around, pounce a little more on. So now I'm literally black and blue on here. I've created a bruised look, but that's only covering part of it. And I'm gonna come back with my pewter foil. I will come back with the pewter. Actually, this is actually gunmetal. This isn't pewter. Sorry, I thought I had the pewter, but I picked gunmetal on purpose because it's very dark, and that was kind of the look I was going for. There we go. And I'm going to put this on here. I will have to cut another piece, clearly, because I didn't get all the way to the edge. I've got my little scrubber, and I get these at Home Depot. They say they're nail brushes, but they're nice and stiff, so they work like little mini scrub brushes. I have nail brushes at home that are way softer than this. This one's stiff, but this is like a floor scrub brush. Now, if you notice, I'm not going all the way to this edge, and there's a good reason for that. I don't want to create a seam right here from where I'm laying my foils down. So I'll get close, but I'm not going all the way to the edge. I don't want to I don't want to create a seam. I want this to be a seamless blend. Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. I'll hold that up for you in just a second. Let me just get the rest of this over here. Come on, lay down, lay on there. Foil up, for heaven's sake. Now also, I'm being careful too, where my overlap is. I don't want to scrub into this way. I don't want to scratch the foil that's already there. So be aware you can do that too, just by trying to scrub more on. So where I know the overlap is, I'm kind of rubbing it a little with my fingers just to make the blend a little smoother. There we go. So look how nice that looks with the blue and the gunmetal. That's really, really pretty. Now we're going to do one more little thing, and we're going to, there's more to do on this. Let's just leave it at that. I'm going to take some of my Artsyville foil adhesive, and that's what it says on here. We're obviously not in the labeled can. I keep extra jars in my studio so that when I have a gallon, I can pour off into smaller containers, and that way everything's not constantly exposed to air, and I only put my hands on a single jar versus a whole lot of jars. Or, I mean, sorry, that my mind just totally wandered when I said that. This way, I am opening one small jar and only exposing one jar to air, as opposed to opening a gallon and exposing much, much, much more product to air. Now, I'm pouring this at this very moment into a little cup. I could have used a plate, it won't matter. And then I want to thin this ever so slightly. But the trick with thinning it is you don't want to pour water in unless it's gotten beyond thick. I have a little mister bottle, and it's not the same as a spray bottle, it's a mist bottle. Just a little mist right on the top of the surface, and then I can come in with a brush. Let's make sure my brush is clean. And put a little more foil adhesive on here. Now, I'm sure, why would you put more foil adhesive? You just put all that foil on there and it's so nice, and why would you want to do that? Well, we have to make the glitter stick. So I'm just putting a little more adhesive, very thin coating over here, because I just need enough adhesive tack on here to have the glitter that I'm going to put over it stick. And then it'll dry, and I can put top coat actually over exposed foil adhesive. It will not harm anything. Let's get the adhesive on this. And I'm not even going to wait for this to dry. I don't need, because I'm not releasing foil with this, I don't need to wait that hour of dry time. Actually, I have found that a lot of times my adhesive is best with glitter if it's not as dry. Just a little bit in there. Because the adhesive, when it's wetter, the glitter loves to grab onto it. Whereas if it's really dry, you get a much finer grab of the glitter. The moisture actually helps the glitter kind of clump onto the surface in the best possible way. Okay, so now I have put my foil adhesive on here. I think I got the whole, check and make sure I got every little bit of it. I don't want to miss any spots because that would just spoil the whole thing. All right, so I have a couple of different glitters. We have our Artsyville glitter in silver, and then I have our personal special glitter mix in silver blue, what does that say? Silver blue ice. And this one actually is very cool. It's a cosmetic grade glitter. So it looks, it's rounder and it has different sizes. Sorry, I gotta open it. Doesn't want to open, being stinker. And there's lots of different ways, but for this, because this is damp, I'm just taking my glitter and letting it snow all over the surface. That's going to be very pretty. Think of it like you're seasoning food. I'm seasoning my decorations with a little bright glitters. I love this glitter. See if I can get the light down here a little better so you can see it. Let's see if I can pull that arm down a little bit too. Get you a little closer, and there we go. That's it. So you can see I have all that wonderful cosmetic grade glitter on here, and so much of it is round, and there's a variety of sizes. I'm just going to see if I can scoop a little bit up and sprinkle on a little more, since I don't want it to go to waste, obviously. It's cool stuff. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of our regular silver glitter, same way. Wipe my fingers off so that there's none of the blue glitter in there. And I'm going to take a little pinch, and I'm going up high. I'm not doing this down here. I'm going up high because that scatters it. Again, it's a little like seasoning food. You just got to bring it up a little higher. And I'll come down low when I need to concentrate on a spot that looks like it was getting skipped. Look how cool that is. I love how that came out. Yay. Look how pretty that is. Now, once this dries, clearly I will put a top coat on here because otherwise all of the glitter and everything will just be knocked off. Now I can go back in here. This is already, between the glitter and the fact that I put this on so thin, this is, you know, basically dry to the touch. This would not be good for releasing foils. Let me explain that again. Not good for releasing foils, but perfect for, you know, dotting on a little bit of glitter. So I'm just tapping it down so it's secured to the surface. We're going to set it aside, and it will be ready to go later for a top coat. All right, I got to shake a little glitter mess out of here. Let me zoom back out. Move a few things around. Forgive me for needing a moment to organize, but yeah, the glitter's got to go, and it's going to go right on the floor, which then I'll sweep up later. God, I dump more glitter on the floor. It's unbelievable. There we go. Clean surface. Now, the other things that we have worked on recently, these little cutouts are 99 cents from Michael's. They come in raw wood. I have primed them all with black set coat like you saw the other piece done. And then the letters themselves have our Artsyville foil adhesive on them. I did these a while ago. They've been sitting around, so I'm just trying to get some projects done. This is my Santa, and as you can see, I did it. The release is broken and flawed, but I love it that way. That's the way it's supposed to look. These things are very inexpensive. From, you know, like I said, 99 cents. So, and I'm going to pull this up close so you can see it with just the paint on it. The edges are rough. Even after sanding them, you're going to have coarse spots like the end here. It's inexpensive wood, so these like to blow the grain when you put moisture on them, as in paint. So you will base coat them. You're going to then have to come back and do a little light sanding. You may need a second base coat. So we got to be aware that the cheaper these kinds of things are, the more likely you might have to have some grain swelling in them, as opposed to very fine woods or plastics or something else where when you apply a paint that you don't necessarily have grain swell and get a rougher surface. I think I've got a ton of leftover foils floating around from different projects, so I think we're going to just kind of foil up a few of these, get the letters done, and then I'm going to show you how we want to finish off one of the bases. This is the gold cubism foil, so I think that would be fun on the cheer. Let's put that on there. Give it a little rub with my fingers. Heat helps to release foils, and if you're not as familiar with foils as some others are, foils, this is winter. You need to know this. Foils do not like to be cold. They don't like to be stored where it's cool. They don't want to be releasing if they're cold. They won't release well if the foil adhesive is cold, because then the foil adhesive doesn't set up properly. So your foils, if you're having trouble releasing your foils in the wintertime, once you've got it to this state, maybe warm it with a hairdryer a little bit. I would recommend storing your foils neither not in your basement or in your garage, because they'll be more temperamental if you're in a cold weather area. I would suggest finding maybe a closet up in your house so that you don't have to fight your adhesive and your foils. Oh, that's cute. I mean, just this as it is. Look how cute that is. I'm going to get the other side so it looks like I'm saying cheers to you, so we can get both sides of this. I like the fact that I got these cutouts, and because are standing up straight, I can flip them and you can see what the words actually say. All right, come on, get on there. Back a little. Now I need to get down to the base. My piece of foil was a little small. I could have used a ever so slightly larger piece, but that's not what I had left from whatever I was using it for yesterday. And don't ask me what I was using it for. I can't remember. I can't remember what I did 15 minutes ago. Okay, let's get in here tight to the base. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Well, I am going to zoom you if my camera will. There we go. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Right down in here, I didn't foil close enough. So I just got to go back into a few spots and fill. And you can see that the release with Artsyville foil adhesive is so good, I can do most of it with just my finger. I really rarely need to scrub as much as I did. And I'm just going to take this, because I did put foil adhesive on the tops of all the letters and stuff, and some of them will take it better than others. And what I mean by taking it, some of these will be smoother, so the adhesive will have cured better, so I'll get a better release than there will be on other pieces that were cut. And you can see what I mean. See, like right here, this one took there's pretty good adhesive and it took the foil. This one did it. And then we get over here and it's a little more coarse, so you're not getting quite as easy a release there. It's going to look a little rougher. Let's get the top of the C. I probably did some of this off camera because I forget when I zoom in and then I move things that y'all don't see it. This is why I need a camera person and not just me. So I basically need a minder when I'm on camera and a minder when I'm off camera. Maybe a nanny. I just need somebody to follow me around and point me in the right direction every once in a while. I'm just going in here. Sorry, gotta make sure I get into the letters. I know it's hard because you guys can't shout at me and I can't always look up and see what's going on the camera. Okay, so I'm just basically going in here, sticking my fingers in the letters and releasing a little extra foil. I am absolutely not trying to create a flawless release. I knew that as soon as I picked these up, that's not the way this wood would work. So instead, I'm going a little more rustic, a little more distressed, and embracing the material for what it is. Sorry. I can get a lot of mileage out of a little tiny piece of foil, can't I? Including gluing my fingers to things. It would be nice if I stopped doing that. If you don't want to go into this much detail, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just here to give you an idea. Okay, so now I've got my cheer foiled, and I did a Santa as well. So we've got those two. And now the next thing is, what do I do with the base? I could leave it absolutely as it is. And we're going to zoom back out a little bit so I don't have to worry about not having you guys see me on the screen. So I could leave it as it is, or we could do something fun. And of course, that means I'm going to do something fun. And I used my little mixing cup that I had set aside to pour foil adhesive into. So I got to grab another cup. Give me just a sec to reach over the heap. Now we have our Artsyville bead gel, which is wonderful, but I wanted something a little bigger textured for this. So we're going to use, move this out of this. We're going to use the Artsyville gel medium, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. I always keep my gel medium, geez, I can zoom back out even further. I keep my gel medium in the can. I keep a piece of plastic all the way down to the surface because that helps keep it from drying out in the can. And I need to grab a stir stick. Every time I think I've got everything all organized for Alive, I realize I've left half of the things somewhere else. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the gel medium, and this gel medium looks white, dries crystal clear. And I'm not taking a lot. I'm going to set that down to the side. Try not to drape myself in the plastic that's covered in the gel medium because I am that kind of a gifted person. And I always check the can one extra time because every once in a while I do something dumb and think that I'm using one product and I find out I'm not. So I wanted glass beads in here, but the Artsyville glass bead gel is kind of small. The bead size is kind of small. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to give you some more light. This stuff is stuff I found at a floral store, and it's bigger, crazier, larger glass beads. They look like, let me pour some out into my hands, not all of it. They look like little plastic cane cut into little tiny bits, or they look like little tiny partially rounded ice cubes. So I'm going to take a bunch of this and mix it in here. Now this stuff is plastic. You can tell, and somebody's going to say, how do I know it's plastic versus glass? It looks like glass. Well, it's the weight of the jar. If this was filled with glass, this would be so heavy I could barely lift it. Plus I know what the label said, but I also know that that's the fact of the matter is that if it was glass, that would be super, super heavy. And this is just simply plastic. Now, I'm going to say I probably need a little more gel medium in there because I basically put a lot of beads into a very small amount of medium. I needed to see what my proportions were going to be. I'm just going to take a little more. And mix it up. Now there will be no color to this. So this is going to end up looking like ice crystals on black. It's not going to be white. It's going to be white, clear crystals with a clear gel medium on a black base. Now I could add other glitters to this. I could add all kinds of stuff to it to get more colors, more textures, more whatever. To put this on, I'm going to use the old room key trick. This is an old room key from when I was in Vegas a couple of years ago. Oh, I miss going to Vegas. Maybe once all the COVID crapola has died down. I'm going to take my Santa stand and I'm going to take a scoop of this and I'm going to, come on light, show your way here, stop falling over. I'm going to scoop it on here and just kind of spread it all over. It's going to look super messy and unorganized when I do it until it dries. is going to just look kind of like a sloppy mess. Actually, it looks like I'm spreading tapioca pudding on the bottom of this. But when it dries clear, it's going to be so cool looking. It's going to look like this is embedded in like ice crystals. But right now, this is literally looking like tapioca pudding. Very, very tapioca-y pudding. So I'm just gonna smush this on here. Renee is popped on. She sees me doing this. She's so funny. Honey, you can watch me on the reruns. I'll even do this privately for you if it makes you feel better. That's all I'm here for, is to help and make Renee smile. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do it on the back of this too. Okay, come on. This is so messy. If you've ever tried to trowel tapioca pudding, it's a little like what this feels like too. And I'm getting it under the letters and around the letters because I don't want this weird chunk of wood that's actually where they slide it in. The construction of this is, these are laser cut, and then this piece of wood has a channel and they slide it in and glue it. Well, I don't want that messy channel area to show, so I'm gonna put my tapioca pudding bead gel all over it. Come on. Let's see. And you can get the Artsyville gel medium, the Artsyville foil adhesive, and the Artsyville, or not the Artsyville, but the foils. Renee carries them as well as I do. So if you are a Renee devotee, Two Chatty Chicks devotee, please order from her. Check out her amazing stencils as well. Let's get some of this right on the ends. I want to make sure you can't even see what's going on. So this is going to have sort of an uneven shininess down here at the base from where I've been scraping stuff around. But after it's dried, I'll top coat it all. Well, I won't need to top coat the bead gel, but I'll top coat all this other stuff and you won't see that extra glossy part. Come on, go on there. Come on, Santa, you need to be chill. Santa needs to be chill. So this looks cute with it as white. So if you liked it white, you can add white colorant to it and make it white. So there's that. Now, we got our cheers too. And just as we added those beads to that gel medium, we can add more other beads to stuff too. I happen to have, this is something I have, it's glass beads. These are gold and golden yellow, so we'll just throw, and the color's very good with my gold on here. So watch. And I'm not gonna put a lot on these. I don't wanna shake this jar up because I wanna make sure all of it, I have solids and metallics mixed. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, put it in there. That was at most half a teaspoon. I'm gonna come in. And the goal is to make this look like there's golden beads in here, not like it's yellow snow. So that's why I didn't put very much in. I had that vision of like I could go crazy and it would end up looking like yellow snow. And that's not a good look for Christmas. And you could put glitter in here or all kinds of other stuff. You could add mica powders to this and make it more opaque. You could add colorants to it, make it more opaque, or just give you some color. You could add any color glass beads. You know what? Because I just added that little bit of glass beads, I made this I took away the little bit of extra creaminess I needed for this to really grab well. So I just go back in, add a little more. Come on, my plastic's sticking to me. There we go. Got to have it creamy enough so that there's enough product to grab to the surface. If you put too many beads in here and not enough gel, you're just going to have it rolling off. Okay. So there we go. That should work much better. I can feel it's already a little bit creamier. That'll grab onto stuff better. Oops, rolled off my fingers. And yeah, wash your hands, wash your brushes, wash your tools. This stuff dries, it dries hard, and it'll be on your tools forever. So, you know, clean it off. Okay. Come on, you little stinker. Stick on there. I do talk to all of my projects all the time. I swear it comes from working alone a lot of years and having nobody watch me. I don't know how many other people talk to their work, but yeah, I do it all the time. And I think, thank goodness, not too many people hear me. Except that now I'm doing it on lives, so you all hear me. And I'm really kind of heaping this on here. I'm not trying to keep it thin and delicate. I want it to look like it's built up. So that means that the creamy whitishness of this, it might take more than a day to clear because it's got a lot of thickness for the moisture to come up through. Because when these things dry, they dry like a pudding skim on the top. So, you know, like when you get a pudding out of, somebody makes a bowl of pudding and there's a skin on the top and it's dry and you can touch it, but underneath it's creamy. It's the same thing with this. So it takes a little while that even though it'll look dry and it'll feel dry, all that moisture that's underneath is still there and it needs the time to come through and evaporate and cure up. Come on. And the cool thing is, if I think this needs more of something when it dries and I come back and look at it tomorrow or the day after, I can just add some more. I really hope this doesn't dry looking like yellow snow. Oh, that would be so disappointing. I hope I didn't screw that up. Well, for 99 cents on a cutout, how screwed up could I have done it? It looked like yellow snow. I'm a genius some days. I love doing holiday stuff. It makes me happy. My husband is a Thanksgiving guy. I am 100% Christmas and Halloween. So between the two of us, the holidays around our house are full of decorations and food. You can see I'm just sort of tapping this with my finger just because I want to make sure I got the ends securely applied. All right. And of course now I have it all over my hands. Ugh. So we've got our, let me move things out of the way. We have our, oops, I flipped it over. I have our darling little cheer with the crystals mixed in the Artsyville gel medium and some glass beads we threw in there. So that'll dry icy, I hope, not like yellow snow. We have our Santa that we just did with the clear beads in the base. And I love how that came out, and that's going to dry clear and icy. It's not going to stay looking white and snowy like that. If you want that, you have to make that happen. And then where did I put our last one, our peace sign that we did? As soon as that's dry enough, I'm going to top coat it, and look how cute that came out with the different glitters and the different foils on that. I'm really happy with that one. So I'm very pleased with all of them. Now I still have, I still have my Noel, and I still have my Mary to do. If I do them tonight, that'll be a miracle. Maybe I'll save them for another day and another live. Maybe I'll come up with new ideas of what to do with them. All right, everybody, let me flip this up. Okay, let me go scroll back and see if I missed any questions. Let's see, there's a lot of people coming. I appreciate all of you coming on here and supporting Renee. It's awesome. Hey, Maddie, nice to see you. Hometown Country Market, thank you. And Desiree's catching me here. Desiree catches me on a lot of my lives. I'm always happy to see her. She's a lot of fun. Oh, Renee, thank you, darling. Yes, say hello always. Don't eat the yellow snow. Oh my God, Renee. Yes, especially not glass, not bead gel yellow snow. Oh, Desiree, I just saw a sign that says, I talk to myself because I need great advice. When I talk to myself, I'm not sure my advice is always my best. Oh, thank you, everybody, for popping in. I hope you had a fun time with this. I hope I gave you a couple ideas to do something a little new and different. Everybody say a little prayer for Renee. Keep her in your prayers, your thoughts, and your good wishes. And you all have a great afternoon. Thanks for popping by. Bye-bye.